Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for a tutorial in Melinda's Rubber Room. I am Melinda Pierce and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'll be showing you today how to make this fun fold card. It's called an explosion card, and it has a belly band that keeps it closed together like so. So I am going to point you down to my work surface and we will get right to it. So this is a card that I just showed how to do in my Zoom session I do those on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time, and you're welcome to join us. I will walk you through how to do the project as well as answer any questions along the way. And then I follow up with these YouTube videos just for those who cannot catch the Zoom session. So I have over here the products that I used, the size of the paper that you need, etc. So for the base of the card, we have a piece of 12 by 12 paper that's been cut down to 6 inches, and it is scored at 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9 inches. And then we have a piece of designer series paper that measures 6 inches by 12 inches. That is right here, 6 inches by 12 inches. And that is also scored at 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9 inches. So I'm going to put my base piece aside right now and just work with my designer series paper. So what we're going to do, first of all, is go ahead and reinforce those score lines that you made, just the 3 inch and the 6 inch, 3 inch and the 9 inch ones. And I'm looking for my scoring tool, or my bone folder. I just used it. I can't find it, so I'm just going to use an acrylic block to go ahead and reinforce those folds. So again, I'm just reinforcing the 3 inch and the 9 inch fold or score line. And then we are going to take the upper right hand corner and marry it down to this center score line. So I'm just going to put my finger right down here on that center score line so I know where I'm going with my corner. Bring it right down into that corner, and we're going to score that or fold it. And again, I'm going to go back with my block and reinforce that fold. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. This time I'm just lining it up with that other fold that I made right in the center. So you should end up with something that looks like a big triangle. I'm going to open those up and do the same thing with the other corners. So the lower right hand corner, bringing up it to the center at the top. Trying to match up my top as well right along here, and just go along and score that down. Same thing with this piece. Bring it right up next to that other edge of the designer series paper. Again, forming a big triangle. Okay, so now what we're going to do is open all of those pieces up, turn them over, and reinforce those folds. This just makes it a lot easier to complete your explosion. It makes it easier for everything to pop out nice and easy. So I am using double-sided paper here, and you do see both sides of the paper. Okay. So there I have the inside of my card. So you'll see that there's a square here, or when you place it this way, it's a diamond shape right here in the center, and that's what you would kind of want to reserve. So what we're going to do is take these two score lines at the 3 inch mark, and they are a mountain fold right now. So it's folding up right now. What you're going to do is just kind of pinch that in the middle and pull those edges together, and then close that down like so. And again, on the other side, this is a mountain fold here. So you're going to take that fold line, push it down right in the center, and that will cause these edges to come up and fold in on themselves. Just like so, and then you create that square that I was talking about in the center. So again, when you open it up, you want to pinch on these the 3-inch score line, bring that to the center and close it down. Bring the 9-inch ones to the center and close it down. And that creates your opening mechanism. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our cardstock piece. Again, this measures 6-inch by 12-inch. We scored it at 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9 inches. So what we're going to do is fold this back on those score lines. Reinforce that fold. Open that up, and we have a piece of designer series paper that's going to lay right down here in the center of the card base, and that measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Just going to go ahead and attach that to the inside. You could do either side of this designer series paper if you wanted to. I really like the flowers on this paper, so I'm going to make that kind of the feature on this card. Put that right there in the center. Now, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and put pieces of cardstock here as well. It doesn't show up a lot on your card, but it will cover up these little triangle pieces here if you do that. So that's entirely up to you. If you choose to do that, I would just cut 2 extra pieces of designer series paper that measures 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. The ones that are called out here are actually going to be used on the front of the card. Okay, so now we're going to take our folded piece that we did earlier, and we're going to place that in the center of the card. So what we're going to do is match up these points to the center score line that should peek out right here on the top of your card. So the score line is right there, and I'm going to match up that corner, and I'm going to match up the bottom corner as well. And you're going to have this opening piece going vertically on your card. So it's going up and down on your card, so that when it opens, it's going to open like that. Okay, so I'm going to turn that over and apply glue to that square. Turn that over, match up those points again. Make sure it's centered. So these points here should meet right on your fold line of your base of the card. Just like that. And then you're going to take adhesive and just put glue right here on these triangles. And then take this piece here and just close it up. Make sure you have some good contact with that glue. Make sure it's nice and tight, and you can see how that's going to open up now. I'm going to do the same thing with this other triangle. This is one of those cards that looks really tricky, but it really isn't that difficult, which makes it fun because whoever receives it is just like, wow, what a cool card. You must have spent hours doing it, and it really isn't that difficult to make. Okay, so there is the base of our card all put together with that pop-up mechanism on it. So now it's all just about decorating our card. So like I said, I have 2 pieces of designer series paper that measures 5 3/4, that measures 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. Just going to go ahead and attach that. One of the nice things about this card is that you can get by with just one piece of 12 by 12 paper if you cut your pieces correctly. So if you cut your piece for the inside first at 6 by 12, and then you just use the rest of the 6 by 12 leftover piece of your 12 by 12 to cut the side pieces and the insert for the inside. And you should end up with a little strip as well that you can use to decorate your band. So it just opens like that, and it's decorated on the front. Now, to make the belly band, all you do is you take a piece of cardstock that measures 1.5 by 12 and a piece that measures 1.5 by 5. So what I showed during my Zoom session was taking this piece and just wrapping it around the card like this. And then taking the other piece of cardstock that measures 1.5 by 5, which is this piece here, and putting it right here on the back. A couple of people had a great idea to put this on the front of the card. So simply turn this around. And that way the seam is on the front of the card and will partially be covered up with your decorations that you put on the front of the card. So you're just going to take this extra piece of cardstock here. Just put a little bit of glue right there on the edges. Go ahead and center that. Like so. Just going to make this crease a little bit tighter here. Clean it up a little bit. And then I have a piece of designer series paper that I can put right over like that. Kind of decorate it. If you have larger pieces of designer series paper laying around, you can also use those. It's really up to you how you want to decorate your card front. You can even turn it over and use that side. This was a different designer series paper than what I used on this card. It was a different color. So that's the color that's on the opposite side. Let's see if I can find the one that matches. Here's the one that matches. So I can do that side or this side. I think I'm going to stick with the little flowers. So that's what I really like. Just centering that right there. So that little strip of designer series paper is a 1/2 inch by 5 3/4. All right, and then for the band, I also have a die cut that is from the Tasteful Labels die collection from Stampin' Up. This die collection will be retired in the new catalog. So if it is a die that you like, I would suggest purchasing it as soon as possible. You can place your order at melindapierce.stampinup.net for any of the supplies that you see me using today. Some of them are retiring, so I'm not sure if they are still available in the catalog or online, but I believe the dies still are available. Okay, so I'm just placing this die right here in the center, making sure that my glue is only on this belly band and not overhanging that. All right, now I have a die cut that I had already colored. Well, I have an extra one here. I'll just color that real quick. So this is from the Daffodil set. I'll show you real quickly that stamp set. It's this one here. It's called Daffodil Daydream. It's got these beautiful daffodils, some great background stamps, and some nice words, and a cute little butterfly. And it comes with all of these dies, and these dies are made to make a 3D daffodil, and then you can also cut out some of the stamped images. It's a beautiful set. You can get it, you can purchase it as a bundle right now on my online store. If you're interested in making the 3D daffodils, this is what they look like. You can make them any color that you want. And I can do a video on how to put those together. They're really cute though, and gives the card a nice little dimension to the card. All right, so back to my coloring. Just using my blends here. Just going to go over this really quickly, get some color on there. The blends are alcohol markers, and they're really fun to color with because you don't see the lines when you're coloring with them. Sometimes with markers you can see the stark lines of the colors, and you don't get that with the blends. I'm going to go over some of these accent lines with the darker daffodil color. The blends are sold as a 2-pack, so you get the light and the dark in the same pack. And that just helps give you a more defined image. I'm just going over it again with the light just to kind of blend the dark in with that. All right, now I'm going to go back with, this is light Granny Apple blends. And I had stamped my image in the Memento Black. If you're using the blends pens, which are alcohol markers, you want to use the Memento ink pad or any of the dye-based ink pads that Stampin' Up! Sells. So that would be any of the colored ink pads. That way those colors will not run on you when you color them. Color the images. So I'm just going to attach this little daffodil right here in the center. Again, make sure you don't put glue on any of the daffodil or the whatever embellishment you're using. Make sure you don't put anything that's going to put glue anywhere over that overhangs that die cut, because you don't want to glue your card shut. Okay, so there's the belly band. So now all that we have to do is decorate the inside of the card. So there's the pop-up mechanism, and I've already stamped the happy birthday image and the daffodil and colored that in. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of here. You can use you can see I went through some of my scrap paper, and this was a calendar that I had done at one time, but the other side of the paper was just fine, so that's what I'm using. So there's that stamped image, and a place where you can just sign the card. There's the happy birthday card and the belly band. So a pretty quick and easy fun fold explosion card that you can surprise all of your friends with. I hope you enjoyed that video and learned something new. That is my goal with my videos and tutorials. If you have any questions or like to purchase anything, feel free to message me at melindapierce.stampinup.net. That's where you can purchase the items. You can also message me on my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room on Facebook. All right, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and we will see you soon. Don't forget to join me on my Facebook page to find out all the latest information about my upcoming Zoom sessions on Wednesdays. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.